The boy who refused to be small. History remembers many kings, but only one man earned a title that replaced his own name, not Alexander of Macedon, not Alexander, son of Philip, but Alexander the Great. A boy taught he was descended from gods. A teenager who tamed a wild horse, no grown man could control a king who would conquer the known world before he turned 30. This is the story of how a child became a legend, before he even became a man. The child destined for more visual. Young Alexander running through palace halls, watching soldiers train. Alexander was born in a world of violence. The chaotic kingdom of Macedon, surrounded by enemies and political instability. But from the moment he could walk, Alexander was raised differently. His father, King Philip II, was a brilliant general who turned Macedon into a military machine. His mother, Olympias, was fiery, ambitious, and she told Alexander a secret. "You are descended from Achilles. You are born for greatness." Imagine hearing that at age 6. Imagine being told every day that you were destined to reshape the world. By age 10, Alexander had already shown signs of a unique mind. He analyzed military formations like puzzles. He studied stories of heroes and believed he could surpass them. He demanded excellence from himself in everything he did. But one event changed everything. Taming Bucephalus. The moment a legend was born. A massive black horse arrived at the Macedonian court. Fierce, wild, dangerous. No soldier could ride it. Philip ordered it to be taken away. But Alexander stepped forward. He noticed something everyone else missed. The horse wasn't wild. It was afraid of its own shadow. Alexander turned the horse toward the sun and climbed onto its back. Silence. Gasps. A child riding what no warrior could tame. Philip stood stunned. "My son, you must find a kingdom big enough for your ambitions. Macedon is too small for you." At 12 years old, Alexander believed it Aristotle, the mind behind the Conqueror. At 13, Alexander received a teacher who would shape the world, Aristotle. Under him, Alexander learned philosophy, logic, ethics, science, medicine, politics, the value of knowledge and curiosity. Aristotle taught him one principle that stuck forever. The purpose of life is to achieve greatness through action. Alexander wasn't just trained to fight. He was trained to think, to question, to observe. This balance, philosopher and warrior, became his ultimate weapon, the making of a king. When Alexander was 16, King Philip went to war. He left Alexander in charge of a kingdom. At 16, most boys are beginning life. Alexander was ruling one. He crushed a rebellion, founded a city, and named it after himself, Alexandropolis. But soon after, tragedy struck. Philip was assassinated. At just 20 years old, Alexander became king. The world expected Macedon to fall apart instead. He united the nobles, secured the army's loyalty, and crushed revolts with precision. Like lightning, he stabilized the kingdom. Now, he looked toward Greece, and beyond it, Persia, the greatest empire on earth. Alexander's mindset was simple. If I cannot be the strongest, I will be nothing. The world conquest begins. At age 22, Alexander stepped into Asia with 40,000 men facing him, an empire of millions. But Alexander had something Persia didn't: a vision. His first major test came at the Battle of Granicus, outnumbered, outmatched. Yet Alexander didn't hesitate. He charged first, spear in hand. That fearless energy ignited his men. Victory. Then came Issus, where he faced King Darius III. Himself, Darius fled. Alexander won again. Then Tyre, the island fortress the world said was impossible to conquer. Alexander built a road through the sea. 7 months later, Tyre fell. The world realized this was no ordinary king. This was a force of nature. The eagle that would not stop. Alexander marched through deserts, mountains, and rivers. No army had ever crossed Egypt, welcomed him as a liberator. Babylon fell. Persepolis burned. He pushed into India, where he met King Porus, a man as brave as Alexander. After the brutal battle of Hydaspes, Alexander didn't kill Porus. He respected him. "How would you like to be treated?" Alexander asked. "Like a king," Porus replied. "Then a king you shall remain." This moment proved Alexander wasn't just a conqueror. He was a strategist of diplomacy, turning enemies into allies. But his soldiers were exhausted. At the edge of the world, they refused to go further. For the first time, Alexander stopped. The final chapter. Alexander returned to Babylon, planning to conquer Arabia next. But destiny had other plans. At age 32, he fell ill and died. No one knows exactly how. His empire stretched from Greece to India, the largest the world had ever seen. His legacy? He changed warfare. He spread ideas, culture, cities, and knowledge across continents. He shaped history for thousands of years. And all of it began with a child who refused to be ordinary narrator. Closing. Heroes are remembered. Kings are recorded. But legends are born in the space between destiny and ambition. Alexander stood in that space and carved his name into eternity.